Hi YouTube, it's Arcade Machine 15 here. I just wanted to show you the old Falcon Xbox here with the graphical problem. It hasn't been fixed yet, but I've noticed something. Now, you shouldn't do this obviously, but this is a 2007 Falcon Xbox here with an obvious handed chip or GPU problem. I don't quite know what it is yet, honestly, but I was just messing with it and I figured out something that can fix it. Now, you shouldn't do this, obviously, but it's doing this. And if I stand on here like this, it's flipped over, and then look at the screen, and then stand on it fully, I gotta do it in just the right place, then what do you know? It'll work again. See, I'm standing on it right now, and it's working. And now watch what happens if I take my foot off of it. Doing it again. So that's a quick way to tell, I guess, that it needs more pressure on one of the chips. I don't know. I'm gonna try putting more weight on the HANA chip and on the GPU. I might try doing the X clamp fix. But one more time, I'm just gonna show you again that this will fix it. You just step on the exact right point, and then there we go. Alright, so it looks like I've actually got it permanently working again. What I did is I opened it up and, I cleaned it all out. I plugged it in, still doing the same thing. I put some weight onto the HANA chip. It's a new HANA chip, so it's the HANA chip, I believe they call it, and it has it's surface mounted with the solder balls underneath it. So those ones don't really go wrong, but just as a precaution, I put wrapped up pennies on top of the chip to weigh it down if it ever were to come up, I guess. And that's been done. And also, obviously, the main thing I think fixed it was I switched out the X clamps. Let me pull one over here. Hold on. I got one over right here. So yeah, these things, they they go onto these little pegs that are on the bottom of the heat sinks, and it flexes and it's supposed to put pressure on it so that it can transport the heat off the chip through the heat sink and you know all that good stuff. But I noticed that no matter what I would try to do, flex these back or whatever, that it would never be completely tight on the GPU. Like you could move the heat sink forward and back and stuff. Like it would never be completely tight, no matter how hard you try with these X clamps. So I mean, the CPU is still using it because the CPU isn't the problem. So why put extra pressure on the CPU when it doesn't need it? But for the GPU, I used machine screws with washers. So instead of using this, I took out the pegs on the heatsink, and I just used machine screws and washers and screwed it down on the four spots on the heatsink under the motherboard, so that I could adjust the tension being put on the GPU. So now it just has machine screws, and it's putting as much pressure as I need. I can't move the heatsink; it's tight on the GPU, so it's putting all that pressure on it. And what I think the problem actually was that there was a solder ball on the GPU that leads to the HANA chip, and I was thinking it was the HANA chip, and it was just a joint under the GPU that leads to it that wasn't making the connection. So by using the machine screws instead of these shitty X clamps, I was able to put more pressure on the GPU and make that connection kind of bridge. Obviously, the connection's not permanently fixed. If I were to take those machine screws out and use these stupid ass X clamps here, which don't put enough pressure down, then the connection would not release, like it or not touch. It'd be released because that one ball of solder broke because they used lead-free solder, which isn't good when the board warps. When the board warps, the solder joints aren't very good with the bending, and some of them come out of place, like they snap. So yeah, luckily that pressure fixed it with these machine screws. It's working fine. I've tested it for 2 days now. It has Guitar Hero Aerosmith in it. So yeah, that's all well and good. Um, so yeah, I've just put rolled up pennies on the head chip just as a precaution, and put machine screws instead of those shitty X clamps. So yeah, and it is in fact Still having the first dashboard on it. And that's that. Also, I got another video about this right here. Um, Now this is a, there we go, 2005, 12th month, 8th day Xbox 360 that still works surprisingly. Very fast actually too. I'd never seen one of these that didn't have the red ring of death before, but that's gonna come up in another video eventually. Yeah, but I'm not only gonna make Xbox videos, obviously. There's gonna be more phone videos, more computer videos, and hopefully more gaming videos, because I want to start streaming from the Xbox One eventually, and do some other cool stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave some comments in the description below, and yeah, that's all for now.